What's up everybody, Bunga here, and today we're going to go visit some Japanese shrines and temples. Do you know the difference between a Japanese shrine and a Japanese Buddhist temple? Well, if you don't, in today's video, we're going to cover about 20 different things that you can learn about these two. So when you visit Japan and you go visit a Japanese Shinto shrine or a Buddhist temple, you'll be able to tell the difference between the two and of course, have a more enjoyable time while you visit here in Japan. So let's talk about it. One of the key differences between a shrine and a temple is this. Shrines are Shinto, temples are Buddhist. Let's start with the entrance. When you're entering a Shinto shrine, there will be a torii gate at the front entrance. When you visit a Buddhist temple, there will be a sanmon gate at the front entrance. A torii gate is a lot more simple and it's not as elaborate. However, on Buddhist temples, when you enter through the sanmon gate, they can be very, very elaborate. When you're going through a sanmon gate, the two guards at the front entrance are called nio. They're big, ominous-looking, monster-like creatures that will pretty much scare all the bad spirits and all the bad stuff away. However, when you visit a Japanese Shinto shrine, there is what's called a kama-inu. These are like lion-like looking dogs that will be guarding the shrine. So sanmon gates for Buddhist temples can be very, very elaborate. Torii gates for Shinto shrines are pretty much very, very simple. And then after you enter in through the entrance of a Shinto shrine, there's one place that's called the Purification Center where you wash your hands. And then there's the main hall. The main hall is where you will give your donations, and the main hall is where you will do your prayers. Now, some Buddhist temples will also have a purification place where you can wash your hands, but not all Buddhist temples will have this. For a Buddhist temple, there's a lot more buildings and structures inside. One place that houses all the monks where they will stay, and there'll be another place where they house all the Buddhist statues. Now let's talk about the gentle practices, the difference between a Shinto shrine and a Buddhist temple. Prayer at a Buddhist temple is a lot more simple. Usually the prayer consists of simply bowing, and then praying, and then bowing once again to finish your prayer. For purification, not all Buddhist temples have this, but there's a place where you can wash your hands. There's also a place where you can light incense. There'll be like this large cauldron looking like thing right in front of the temple's main hall, and then there's usually incense inside of it. And usually there's smoke burning, and you'll see people standing around it, and they're like bringing the incense smoke towards them. That's another way that you can purify yourself, by bringing the incense air to you. In some temples, you can also get incense, and you can burn incense. Now, when you're burning incense at a temple, don't blow it out. You either have to fan it out, or just use your fingers to pinch it. Never blow out the flame when you're lighting incense. Now, the general practice at a Shinto shrine is slightly different. What you need to do is bow at the front of the torii gate, and then after you're done bowing, then you may enter in through the torii gate. As you're walking up towards the main hall, you would head towards the purification place where you would wash your hands. Now, do not walk down the center. It is advised that you walk to the left or to the right. The center is pretty much left for deity. And for us, we will walk to the left or to the right. And then when you get to the purification center, this is where you would wash your hands. Now, in some places, there's a ladle. They say you wash your left hand first, and then you wash your right hand, and then after that, you wash around your mouth. Some people will rinse their mouth and spit to the side. Don't spit into the water. But for the most part, just wash your hands just to feel safe. And then after that, when you get to the main hall, the prayer is going to be 2 bows, and then you clap twice to call the gods, and then you say your prayer, and then when your prayer is done, bow your head again, and you are done. Bow, bow, clap, clap, bow. Before you say your prayer, make sure you drop your donation first. And in some Shinto shrines, there is a bell that you can ring before you say your prayer. These are the general practices that you will see Japanese people do at a Shinto shrine and at a Buddhist temple. When's the best time to visit a temple or a shrine? For the Japanese, there are no weekly services at Shinto shrines. However, usually on the 1st or the 15th of the month is when people will usually go and visit. That's usually the time that you would go visit. Also, every now and then, if you want to partake in a special ceremony, like say for example some businesses when they're starting a new project or something, they'll go to a Shinto shrine and partake in a Shinto ceremony to bless their new business endeavor. This is another time that some Japanese people will visit a Shinto shrine. Every year on New Year's, everybody visits a Shinto shrine. At midnight, most people will go line up at the shrine. They'll go ring the bell and say their prayers. It's a great way to bring in the new year. However, for Shintoism, you can pretty much go worship anytime, day to day. There's no like long sermons that you need to go listen to or anything like that. Most Japanese people just go at their own pace. Come to the shrine, drop your donation, and say your prayers. And you can do that day to day. There are differences in Shinto festivals and Buddhist festivals. Probably one of the biggest Buddhist festivals is what we call Obon. And Obon is usually around August, is the Obon. Obon is about celebrating our ancestors, and then usually during the Obon season, it's where we would go and clean our ancestors' graves. And probably one of the biggest festivals during Obon is probably a bone dance. I was able to attend a big bon odori is what they call in Japanese. Ebisu has a big bon odori, and that is a big Buddhist festival. Where Buddhism is celebrating our ancestors and those who have passed, I would say Shinto is more like celebrating life and those who are living. That's how I look at it. In Shinto, we have the summer festivals. They're called Matsuri, and Matsuris can be very, very big. And usually Matsuri is capped off with, they carry what are called Mikoshi. Mikoshi are carried through the street and taking the kami outside of the shrine and showing them around and then bringing them back. But usually a lot of people will gather together to carry a Mikoshi. Some of the shrines that you visit in Japan, you might be able to see some of the shrines' Mikoshi. The Mikoshi are very, very elaborate, ornated, look like little miniature versions of the shrine itself, and most people will carry it in a procession through the street. Here are some neat things that you can do at a Shinto shrine. One of those things is you can get what's called an omikuji. An omikuji is your fortune. Usually you would give a donation and there's a small little paper that will have your fortune in it. But the key thing is the omikuji is your fortune. And if it's a bad fortune, you can tie it off in a place like this and leave it at the shrine so you don't have to take your bad luck with you. If you have one that's good luck, then maybe you want to keep that with you. You don't want to leave it at the shrine. The other thing that you can do is you can get what's called a Goushouin. A Goushouin is a seal that the temple will put in a special book that's called a Goushouin Cho. The Goushouin Cho is what you would use to collect all your Goushouin or your temple seals. Now what I like about Goushouin is that as you visit each Shinto shrine, you can actually collect all these wonderful seals, and there's always a calligrapher who will write in it. There'll be the date, the time, and they'll write the name of the shrine and everything. This is a very, very beautiful keepsake. And if you're here in Japan, I would definitely recommend getting one of these, a Goushouin Cho, and collecting Goushouin seals. And that way, by the end of your journey here in Japan, you can go to the book and say, oh yeah, I remember we visited that shrine. And it's just a great keepsake. Another thing that you can also do here at a Shinto shrine is get an ema. An ema is a wood board where you can write your prayers and your wishes. And once you get one of these boards, what you do is you write on the back of it, you know, your goals, your dreams, or things that you want to achieve in your life. And then once you write it down on there, and then you hang it over here on this little board where everybody else hangs their boards. And then of course they'll pray for it here at the temple. Pretty cool, yeah? All right, and these are some neat things that you can do at a Shinto shrine. And some remaining fun things to know about Shinto shrines and Shinto temples is this. Buddhist temples are made to enshrine Buddha and Buddhist statues. And Shinto shrines are made to enshrine deities and sacred objects. In most Buddhist temples, there will usually be a cemetery. Sometimes there's no cemetery, but usually there will be cemeteries attached to Buddhist temples. For Shinto shrines, there are no cemeteries. And funerals will usually be done at a Buddhist temple, where weddings and celebrations can be done at shrines. Meiji Shrine in Tokyo is a great example where you can see some great weddings. If you're lucky, when you visit Meiji Shrine, you might see one of these weddings. And in some Buddhist temples, you can actually stay the night. It's called shukubo. And they will usually they'll offer meals, you can stay the night, and you can partake in the prayers with the monks. And lastly, if you want to visit a really popular temple in Tokyo, there is the Sensoji Temple. That's over in Asakusa. And if you want to visit a very famous shrine, there is the Meiji Jingu Shrine over in Harajuku. And with everything you learned in today's videos, when you visit Meiji Jingu or Sensoji Temple, you should now be able to tell the difference between the two and know exactly what you're getting yourself into. All right, so we've covered a lot of things today about Japanese Shinto shrines and Japanese Buddhist temples. And now I hope you have a good idea what the difference is between the two when you come and visit Japan. Thank you for watching the video all the way up to here. Don't forget, if you want to watch more videos, you can find more videos on Japan here. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button and share a comment. It really helps me a lot. And if you'd like to learn more about Japan, please subscribe to the channel. And it's been a lot of fun chatting with you today, and I'll see you on the next round. Cheers!